Hello, legendaries, and welcome to a Halloween special. Today I bring you the 25 spookiest ghost Pokemon entries. This is a list I've compiled of 25 entries from the Pokedex of all the core series games, in which I looked at all the ghost type Pokemon, and I picked the top 25 spooky and creepiest entries I could find. So obviously, this list is all based on my opinion and what I think is spooky, so you may disagree. And please don't be upset if your favorite ghost Pokemon isn't mentioned in this list. I promise you that there are lots of cool ghost Pokemon that I did not include in this list because if they're not on the list, none of their entries really creeped me out at all. So, that was the main criteria here, is it was a ghost Pokemon and if its Pokedex entry creeped me out. So without further ado, sit back, maybe grab a snack, and take a quick peek behind you, just to make sure that there isn't a haunter lurking in the shadows, ready to pull a prank on you. Let's get started. Number 1. Ghastly. Soul Silver. Its thin body is made of gas. Despite lacking substance, it can envelope an opponent of any size and cause suffocation. Yikes. So this Ghastly is kind of like, as you would imagine, this cloud of poisonous gas. And it could just like increase in size and completely engulf you and poison you and cause you suffocation. Like, yikes. Man, Ghastly. That's creepy. Creepy place to start for the first ghost Pokemon introduced. Okay. Number 2. Haunter. Yellow. By licking, it saps the victim's life. It causes shaking that won't stop until the victim's demise. Emerald. If a haunter beckons you while it is floating in the darkness, don't approach it. This Pokemon will try to lick you with its tongue and steal your life away. Yikes. So, they're both pretty creepy. I picture this, like, creepy hand and, like, the face looming in the dark of a haunter, like, beckoning you with its clawed finger. And then, you know, it licks you to death. And then I just picture, like, something cute like a Charmander, I guess from... Because there was a scene in the anime, in the Indigo League, where Haunter licked Charmander and it started shaking. Now, luckily, in the anime, like, that didn't escalate any further. But according to this entry, if it licks you, you will continue shaking until death. That's really terrifying. Talk about one of the most lighthearted ghost Pokemon introduced, at least in the anime. Wow, it's got a much darker undertone in the games. Moving on. Number 3. Gengar. Yellow. A Gengar is close by if you feel a sudden chill. It may be trying to lay a curse on you. Silver. To steal the life of its target, it slips into the prey's shadow and silently waits for an opportunity. An opportunity to do what, Gengar? Like, what are you planning, man? That's creepy stuff. Sun. Should you feel yourself attacked by a sudden chill, it is evidence of an approaching Gengar. There is no escaping it. Give up. Wow. You can't be more blunt than that, can you, Pokemon? Here, the Game Freak and Pokemon and Nintendo Company, they're literally just telling you, yep, just give up. Just stop. Just quit. Yikes. And as a little bonus, I figured I'd include a little Mega Evolution entry here. Mega Gengar. Moon. The energy of Mega Evolution awakened it. It sinks into another dimension, where it keeps a patient watch for its chance to attack. Oh man. So Silver kind of creeped me out too, because like, waits for an opportunity to do what? Like, you know, like that's creepy in itself that you don't know what it's planning. It just says waits for an opportunity. I feel like those are some of the creepiest entries, the ones that kind of leave the outcome up in the air and have you guessing and questioning what actually is the outcome or whatever. But yeah, Mega Gengar is just watching you from some alternate reality, waiting to attack patiently too. That's pretty creepy. Number 4. Mistress Son. It will use any means necessary to frighten people and absorb their life energy. It practices constantly to hone its skill in causing fear. Yikes. So basically, it's practicing to scare people like on a consistent basis, and it will literally do anything to scare people, and then it takes their life energy when it scares them. That's creepy. Number 5. Burnett. Firered and Leafgreen. Strong feelings of hatred turned a puppet into a Pokemon. If it opens its mouth, its cursed energy escapes. Well, that's pretty dark when they introduce hatred into the game. Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. A doll that became a Pokemon over its grudge from being chunked. It seeks the child that disowned it. Oh man, I think for me this is one of the creepiest, if not the creepiest. Woo! So, it was a doll that was thrown out by some kid, and then it developed this grudge and hatred that brought it back to life. And this grudge was held as it like sought the child that threw it out. Like, what is it going to do to the kid when it finds it? That's really creepy. I'm getting some Chucky or Annabelle vibes here. Yikes. Dusk Noir. Number 6. Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. The antenna on its head captures radio waves from the world of spirits that command it to take people there. Oh, that's creepy. So Dusk Noir is almost like a puppet or a pawn, in a sense, and it's being used by some unknown, unseen force from the spirit world that wants it to take people there. Whew! Just gotta chill. Number 7. Drifblim Pearl. It tugs on the hands of children to steal them away. However, he gets pulled around instead. So this one is almost a little humorous. So basically I just picture this like really creepy thing, like balloon with creepy intent, that just wants to like lift kids away beyond and just like they'll be gone forever. Meanwhile, it's too late to do so, so basically this really malicious, sinister thing just gets pushed around like a balloon. It's a little humorous, a little creepy at the same time to know what it really is thinking and feeling. Ultra Sun. Its round body is stuffed with souls that expand each time it leads someone away. So, if it does manage to get someone to follow it and they can't catch it and it keeps leading them away, it'll eventually, I guess, steal their soul. I don't know what happens that makes it able to steal the soul, but yeah, then the soul is trapped in its balloon-like body. That's creepy. 8. Drifblim Ultra Sun. There's a rumor that if you catch a Drifblim floating on the wind at dusk, you'll be carried away to the afterlife. I know some people, in like other entries that I read, it said that some people grab them and use them to travel. And it doesn't look really sinister, kind of like Drifblim. It kind of just looks like a normal hot air balloon. Like Drifblim looks like a normal little cute balloon. But the fact that, like, if you don't let go at dusk, it'll like carry you away to the afterlife. Like, wow, you're just gone, you're just dead. Woo! Creepy. 9. Spiritomb Diamond. A Pokemon that was formed by 108 spirits. It is bound to a fissure in an odd keystone. Pearl. It was bound to a fissure in an odd keystone as punishment for misdeeds 500 years ago. So it was formed by 108 spirits. It doesn't say anything about the spirits, how they came together, or anything like that. But the reason that it's trapped to a little like fissure in an odd keystone is because it's being punished for misdeeds 500 years ago. Like the fact that it's still trapped after all these years. What did it do that was so bad? That's what I wonder. It must have been something really, really awful. Number 10. Giratina Platinum. It was banished for its violence. Silently gazed upon the old world from the distortion world. I don't know why, but this one really creeps me out, much like the air freshener that just went off in my room that I was not expecting. It automatically sprays stuff, and I was like, ah! Yeah, but it was banished for violence. Then on top of it, like when it's exiled to the distortion world, it's just silently watching everything in the old world, or our world, I guess you would say, or the world, the Pokemon world more so than our world. But that's really creepy, just the fact that it's silently watching everything. That's really creepy. I don't know why, but there's something really creepy about that. You know, if you ever felt like you're being watched, well, just imagine, right now, as you're watching this video, as I'm recording the audio track for this video, and even editing this video, and while you're having dinner tonight or whatever, Giratina is watching us all. Lovely. Okay, I guess that's why it has legendary status. Moving on. Number 11, Litwick White. While shining a light and pretending to be a guide, it leeches off the light force of any who follow it. So you just think it's this innocent candle that's going to lead you through the darkness, but no, it's slowly and subtly taking your life away while it's guiding you in the dark, or you think it's guiding you in the dark. Who knows if it's even guiding you, or if it's just like taking you around in circles. It's pitch black, you're not going to be able to tell. Number 12, Landons White. It arrives near the moment of death and steals spirit from the body. That's really creepy. I'm just picturing, whether you're dying from whatever, old age, illness, an accident, whatever, something tragic, something not so tragic, it's more peaceful. Like, I just picture you're about to slip away, and you're supposed to, if you believe in this, that your spirit's supposed to move on to the afterlife or whatever. No, it just comes and takes your spirit, and that's it. That's really dark. Don't worry, this evolution line is getting darker from here. 13, Chandelure White. Being consumed in Chandelure's flame burns up the spirit, leaving the body behind. Black 2. The spirits burned up in its ominous flame lose their way and wander this world forever. So basically it consumes you in its flame, and then it doesn't burn you. No, I mean maybe it does, but it burns up your freaking soul. Whoa, that is like really messed up in so many ways. So normally when you're like hurt by something, like, you're hurt physically or you're hurt emotionally, it's not often that you hear someone saying that someone was hurt to their soul. But this is literally burning your soul. Not only that, but leaving your body behind as a vegetable. Then on top of that, the spirit that's burned up in that ominous flame it talks about, they get lost, and they're stuck in this world forever. They don't get to move on to the afterlife. They don't get to move on to peace. They're just stuck here, burning and suffering. That is really, really dark, Chandelure. Like, what the heck? What are you thinking, Game Freak? Kids play these games. Ah! But for, some big fans of horror like myself, this is really entertaining, though creepy. Number 14, Yamask, or as I like to say, Yamask. It's your mask, man. It's your mask, girl. Anyway, Black. Each of them carries a mask that used to be its face when it was human. Sometimes they look at it and cry. That's really sad. So basically, and creepy too. So basically, and morbid. Basically, it carries its face. Like, that's what the mask is that you see in that little sprite there in the game or in the artwork. That's its freaking face from when it was alive. So this one was human too. And then sometimes it looks at it and just bursts into tears. That is really sad. White. These Pokemon arose from the spirits of people interred in graves in past ages. Each retains memories of its former life. Wow, that's pretty, heavy stuff, I mean, it's not often that you hear about, ghosts coming from the grave. But then on top of that, it's kind of dead, but it still has the memories of its life. So even though it's stuck as a spirit, it still remembers everything. That's really sad. What a sad backstory and origin for that Pokemon. Thanks, Game Freak. Number 15, Phantom. Why? According to old tales, these Pokemon are stumps possessed by the spirits of children who died while lost in the forest. Okay, so this thing almost is cute until you realize that there is a ghost from, basically it's the soul of some kid who got lost in the woods and died, and now it's stuck. This poor kid, he or she has their spirit stuck in this little stump. That's really sad and creepy too. Number 16, Golemist X. Singing in eerie voices, they wander town streets on the night of the new moon. Anyone who hears their song is cursed. Why? It enwraps its prey in its hair-like arms. It sings joyfully as it observes the suffering of its prey. Okay, this one really creeped me out. So it's singing in a really creepy voice and wandering the streets during the new moon at night. So if you're just chilling there, having dinner, having dessert, watching YouTube, playing a Pokemon game or just whatever, trying to fall asleep, and you hear this Pokemon singing with its eerie voice, it's just, you know, gonna curse you automatically. So, like, you're just, like, chilling. Ah! Oh, I heard it. I'm automatically cursed. Dang. That's creepy. On top of that, it has hair-like arms that it grabs its prey with, and as you are suffering and struggling to get out of these creepy hair-like arms, it is joyfully singing in delight as you are suffering, being trapped in its hair-like arms. That is really creepy. Really creepy, Game Freak. What the heck? Number 17. Sandygast. Moon. It takes control of anyone who puts a hand in its mouth, and so it adds to the accumulation of its sand mound body. So, number one, why would you put your hand in that thing's mouth? I mean, unless you're going to get the shovel, like, why would you do that? And then it just, like, you know, swallows you up, and now you're a part of that sand mound body. It's just swallowing bodies whole and adding them to the corpse pile inside it or underneath it. That's creepy. Palisand. Son. Possessed people controlled by this Pokemon transformed its sand mound into a castle. As it evolved, its power to curse grew even stronger. So don't worry, not only were you consumed by this sand thing, but then it evolved. And then it sent you back out as some, like, zombified corpse to build it up and make it even greater and more powerful into this, like, castle with all these little gems and stuff in it. Like, that's really creepy. It's basically using your dead body as a pawn to make it stronger, because not only does the little, like, sand castle get bigger, but its power to curse gets stronger. Moon. Buried beneath the castle are masses of dried up bones from those whose vitality it has drained. Okay, we knew that already because of its pre-evolution, but just to know that the bones are still there, you know, like, this is a really creepy one. And we're not done. Ultra Son. Each of its grains of sand has its own will. Palisand eats small Pokemon and siphons away their vital essence while they're still alive. So it's, you know, not only is it eating little Pokemon like a cute little, I don't know, Pidgey or Caterpie or whatever, Wormpole. No, it's eating them, and while they're alive, it's taking their life force. So it's not just stealing their vital essence away while they're dead. You know, it's not killing them first. No, it's making sure that they suffer. Like, wow, that's really creepy. And we're not done. Ultramoon. Once it has whipped up a sandstorm to halt its opponents in their tracks, this terrifying Pokemon snatches away their vitality. Not only does it have all that other stuff, but yikes, this one has a fourth little feature, if you want to call it that. It's just going to make a sandstorm that's going to, you know, trap people. So it can, you know, prey upon them, sort of. Or actually, yeah, literally prey upon them. That's really, really creepy. Number 19. Mimikyu. Son. Its actual appearance is unknown. A scholar who saw what was under its rag was overwhelmed by terror and died from the shock. Ultramoon. A gust of wind revealed what hides under this Pokemon's rag to a passing trainer, who went home and died painfully that very night. Okay, so I know there's I feel bad for Mimikyu because in other entries that I didn't include in here, it said that it, you know, the reason it's covered up is because it wants to be as close to Pokemon and people as it can. Because it wants, I guess it just wants to not be lonely, and it just wants to befriend people and Pokemon. But yeah, if you look under that little rag that's covering it up, you're gonna die from, you know, terror and shock, and you're gonna be overwhelmed with fear. Not only that, but you're gonna, you know, if you don't die from the shock, you're gonna go home and you're gonna painfully die. So there's painful death here. That's really, really creepy, Pokemon creators. What are you doing? Oh my gosh, this is like these guys should really go into writing horror movies. Number 20. Shedinja. Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. A discarded bug shell that came to life. Peering into the crack on its back is said to steal one's spirit. This is especially creepy to me, not just because all you have to do is look at its back for your soul to be stolen. I don't even know if it intentionally does it. But on top of that, if you're playing those games, if you notice, there's always a back sprite. And I mean, luckily it's just fantasy because that thing, in the Pokemon world, if you're battling with that thing and it faces its opponent and you're behind it, It's gonna steal your spirit! Ah! Like, it's not even intended. Like, that's really screwed up. It doesn't even, like, you don't even get a choice. Like, whoa. So don't look at its back. I mean, like, I'd rather just, like, if I take it out, I'd rather just, like, face it from the other side, like, where the other trainer is. I'll just chill behind their Pokemon while it's on the other side. No thanks. I don't want to look at its back. Number 21. Frostlass Son. When it finds humans or Pokemon it likes, it freezes them and takes them into its chilly den, where they become decorations. Moon. The soul of a woman lost on a snowy mountain possessed an icicle, becoming this Pokemon. The food it most relishes is the souls of men. Okay, so it likes to freeze people and take them to its den, so it could have like little pretty Christmas decorations or whatever. Like, I don't know. Ooh, that's creepy. I feel like there's some sort of like kids show or movie or book or whatever that I saw that I can't think of where some, you know, snow beast or whatever does this. If you know what I'm talking about, I can't think of what it was or what the name was, but I remember something like this from my childhood. If you know what this is, let me know in the comments. I'd be really interested. So, speaking of the second one, so a woman got lost, and I'm sorry, I know I giggled while I was reading it in my spooky voice, but I couldn't help but laugh. The spirit of a woman that got lost possessed an icicle. Like, not even like a mound of snow. No, just a little icicle. But then it became the Pokemon. Now, don't screw with it because it's gonna... If I laugh at it too much, it might, you know, freeze me and then take me back to its lair so I can be a decoration. Not gonna laugh at you anymore, Frostlass. Sorry. Number 22. Frillish. Ultramoon. Using the invisible poison spikes on its veil-like arms and legs, it paralyzes its enemies and causes them to drown. So it's got poisonous and invisible spikes on its, you know, arms and legs, or tentacles, I guess if you want to call it, because it's kind of like a jellyfish. And that's just gonna not only like poison you, but paralyze you, and you'll drown. That's creepy. Jellicent. Black. The fate of the ships and crew that wander into Jellicent's habitat. All sunken, all lost, all vanished. So, to me, I don't know, these two are pretty close to, you know, taking the place of Jaws. Like, I feel like they could just make a horror movie of Frillish and Jellicent, which is funny because, in my opinion, when you look at the design, they're both pretty cute, too, both the male and female forms. But just the fact that, like, I don't know, these Pokemon, like, their intent is to paralyze and poison and drown you, and, you know, like, if you're a crew, it could, you know, sink an entire crew. Creepy. Number 24. Gulurk. Ultramoon. When the seal on its chest is removed, it rages indiscriminately, turning the whole town around it into a mountain of rubble. Oh, you often hear about, you know, like, I think it's even in Pokedex entries, don't quote me on that though, but also in the show, like, there's, like, you know, lore about Gyarados, like, if they come in, like, a large group, they'll just, like, terrorize and completely demolish a town. Well, this Pokemon can do it by itself. And I know it's a big stone thing, but still, like, that's really, really creepy. And last but not least, number 25. Pnage. Why? If anyone dares to grab its hilt, it wraps a blue cloth around that person's arm and drains that person's life energy completely. So, I mean, I don't know about you, but I've played lots of Zelda games. I've played a lot of other games that involve swords, and I just think swords are really cool. I think swords are cool, you know, like, they're also portrayed to be really cool in movies, and shows, and books, all kinds of things, you know, like, it's just a cool thing, you know, a sword. It's admirable. And I have a lot of respect for people who fence or just have experience in wielding and self-protection with swords. Really, really cool stuff. But anyway, like, if you see this cool sword and you're like, yo, and you go to grab it, nope, it's going to wrap this blue cloth around you and, like, through your arm, it's just going to drain your life energy completely. It kind of reminds me of, like, Soul Calibur, like, Soul Edge a little bit. The only difference is instead of, like, using you to, like, take other people's souls, now it's just going to take your soul when you grab it. So don't do that. And there you have it. In my personal opinion, the top 25 most creepy and spooky ghost Pokemon entries. Once again, I apologize to those of you whose favorite ghost Pokemon did not make the cut of this. I didn't base it off Pokemon I thought were the creepiest. I based it off ghost Pokemon entries that I thought were the creepiest. So, there's lots of really cool ghost Pokemon and just Pokemon in general that were not included in this video. You may disagree with some of these. If there's some really creepy ones that you think I missed,
please let me know in the comments. I'm always open to discussion and conversation. I'm always open to learning new things. And if you liked this video and would like to see more content like this, please give it a big thumbs up. Yes, smash that like button. If you would be so kind as to click subscribe, and I would really, really greatly appreciate it. Not only that, but if you click the bell icon after you subscribe, you will be up to date on all the notifications anytime I release new content, which is really, really cool. And let me know in the comments which Pokedex entry you thought was the creepiest. So, without further ado, Legendaries, stay elusive and happy Halloween.